Okay.
Yes.
Hello, welcome to the Marvel panel. This is our first appearance at South by Southwest, and we're super excited to be here. And you guys are lucky. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff for the first time that we're unveiling to the public. So you're very excited to see a glimpse into the future of comic storytelling. First, let me introduce the panelists. First, I'm Axel Alonso, Editor-in-Chief. For the record, even I want to punch that guy, okay?
Me too.
To my left is Peter Phillips, who's Senior Vice President and General Manager for our digital media group. Peter will have a lot to say, as you'll see. And little known fact about Peter, he's an excellent rapper. So come up to him after the panel, he'll rap you some.
I will.
And to my right is Jeff Loeb.
There you go. Can you guys hear us? Because we can't hear you.
You can hear it?
No. I said I can't hear you guys. All right, and then there's one other thing. There's two favors that I want to ask of you. One is we're going to show you stuff today, particularly towards the end. It's kind of a surprise. And some of you that know have heard this speech before. There are going to be guys that are walking around that work for S.H.I.E.L.D. They may look like security guards, but they actually work for S.H.I.E.L.D. The thing is, what we're going to show you is the world premiere. So it's a special chance for all of you to be able to see something that you've never seen before. And what we want to do is not share it with the rest of the world. So we don't want it showing up on YouTube or anyplace else. We love those sites. We want to put stuff up there. But the stuff that you see today, you can't be recording it. So this is what's going to happen. When it gets around that time, you'll hear me go, okay, the security guys are going to be walking around, and just please understand something. They're going to take your mobile device. And you just don't want that to happen. We want this to be a great experience for you to have fun with. After you've seen it, hopefully you tweet, you go to your social places, you talk about how great it was. But during the time, please, I can see you now, you're recording me, and I appreciate that, but when we get around stuff to putting it up on there, just be cool about it, that'd be great. The other thing is that if you can't hear all the really great people that are around us that are playing these video games and everything else that are out there, they promised to turn it down. So it's okay for us to, all you got to do at any point, we'll do a little chant where it's like, turn it down, so that you can all hear us and we can hear you. We just want this to be, it's our first time in Austin. You guys are great fans to come out here and be here today, and we just want it to be a great time. So let's enjoy ourselves. You're going to see something that's going to blow your mind. So enjoy.
Judging from the look of you, most of you, when you hear the word Marvel or see the Marvel logo, probably immediately think of the small, low-budget indie flicks we put out year after year, featuring unnamed actors like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and we'll be quietly releasing a little movie called Marvel Studios' The Avengers on May 4th. Now, of course, these big screen characters grew out of Marvel Publishing. They were born on the comic book page. They've endured through all of our bad decisions over the years, and good. And they've become icons in their own right. Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Truly, Marvel is the house of ideas. For 10 years, for decades, Marvel has been the #1 publisher. Really, one of the things that's given us our edge is that we've always been publishing innovators, and we were extremely quick to embrace digital media as an invaluable tool to reach a new audience. Peter's going to elaborate on just exactly what we've done over the past 2 years as we give you a window into the future.
Thank you, Axel. So, I'm going to work my own magic here, but basically the goal for us in digital comics is to make comic reading easy and fun. And we want to be innovators as well, and we've been doing that for years. We've got a subscription service on Marvel.com that's been there since 2007. Right now we've got over 12,000 comics available for reading. Of course, we went right after the apps as well. Your iPhone and the iPad. Our app is actually with the launch of the device itself. We're in the Android store. And again, these are devices that allow you to read single stories one at a time, as opposed to subscription service. Gives you the 12,000. And now we're starting to offer our graphic novels. It's on the Nook Color. We just launched in the iBook store at the end of February. And these devices have the capability to really showcase the richness of our artwork and our storytelling. So it's very apt for us to be where we've gone.
How many of you here enjoy the Marvel experience on something other than a comic book? Are you looking at it on your tablet, on your phone, that kind of place? Well, this is the kind of place that we want to be able to show you the next place in how to do that.
Exactly. One of the things that we feel is innovative is to make sure we work closely with our retail partners, comic book shops. So what we've done, some of our key books, we've made sure that not only do you get to read the comic itself, but you can also download it digitally for free. We've done that with a variety of our comic lines. You can see 3 of them up here. We announced on Friday that starting in June, all of our top comic lines are going to allow free digital downloads. So that's just something we're doing to help make comic reading easy and fun. So feel free to applaud.
Yes.
Yeah. Works both ways. So you download an issue, we did this in January, you download a digital issue and you get a coupon to go into your comic store and get a free comic. So download digital, get free print. We're going to do it again very soon. We're about to announce that. Very successful for our company and for you. I'm going to turn it back over to Axel, who's going to talk about the biggest comic event of the year, hands down.
How many of you heard of a little event called Avengers versus X-Men? Well, if there's 3 words more guaranteed to drive people in the comic stores more than Avengers versus X-Men, I'd love to hear them. This is the event of the year. We brought together some of our best writers and artists for a 6-month event that starts in April and concludes in September. There will be a winner. And it will be available both in print form and in digital form. If you buy the print comic book, you receive a code to basically download the digital version as well. There are added value features we're going to talk about as well as part of the presentation continues. Really, what better platform we thought than Avengers versus X-Men to attack some of the digital initiatives that we've had in our back pocket that we think are the future of comic publishing. So,
right.
Drum roll please, the future of comics is here. Welcome to the Marvel Re-Evolution.
So, a lot of people don't really understand how comics are actually made. And as someone who's been a writer working in that field, you know, oftentimes I get asked, so what is it that you do? Do you put the words inside the balloons? Or do you know how to draw? And because a lot of people think that comics are done the way that, like, cartoonists do it. Like Charles Schultz, he did all those peanuts. So how could I possibly be writing the Hulk if Stan Lee created the Hulk or something like that? So just to give you a very basic primer, a writer writes a script. It looks a lot like a television script, or it looks a lot like a movie script. It describes every single thing that's on the page, panel by panel. It has all the dialogue that's in there. He then hands it to an artist. The artist then works on a board that's about this big, and he pencils it out. Then an inker comes along, and he puts ink on it. And if those of you who've seen, you know, Kevin Smith, they call them tracers. We don't like to do that. And then after that, there's a letterer, and for a long time, the letterer actually did the lettering on the board. And that has actually was sort of the first step towards the digital revolution, in that those pages are scanned and the lettering is put on there. Coloring was done the same way, where there was it was little tabs of color that you would pick out, and there were like 4 colors that you could choose from. And then there's been a revolution in that, so that you can now computer color your comics. Well, when you think about it, we've been moving towards a way of being able to tell stories that involves technology, because the way that we've been making comics has pretty much been the same way since those 2 kids from Cleveland came up with a little Superman story back in Action Comics back in 1938. If you think about anything else, if you think about what your phone looks like since 1938, what your sneakers look like since 1938, there's been huge changes, but comics pretty much comics have been made the same way. That is, until now.
Yeah, as Jeff says, with our Marvel Re-Evolution, we're evolving the comic book form by blending